हम सारे लोग ये सुनते हैं कि विकसित भारत 2047 का संकल्प है। 2047 तक भारत जो है विकसित भारत की श्रेणी में आ जाएगा, लेकिन अक्सर ये सवाल आता है कि वहाँ तक पहुँचने की प्रक्रिया क्या होगी और इसमें कैसे और क्या प्रक्रिया के तहत हम वहाँ पहुँचेंगे। टू शेड लाइट ऑन दिस विजन एंड द पाथ फॉरवर्ड, वी आर ऑनर्ड टू हैव विद अस टुडे पद्म श्री TV मोहनदास पाई जी, चेयरमैन आर्यन कैपिटल।
Honorable Chief Minister Fadnavis ji, Swami ji, Rajesh Sharma ji, Trivedi ji, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to be here to present on accelerating towards Viksit Bharat. Can you put up the slides, please? Slides, please. Yeah. Bharat was the richest civilization in history. Please remember this. We were a rich country. We have been impoverished because of Islamic invasion from Central Asia and colonial exploitation. If you look at the slide here, from the start of human civilization till 1720, we were dominating the world. Then we became poor to various reasons. Bharat was 33% of global GDP around the start of the Christian era. Because we had agrarian abundance, we were a global trade powerhouse, and advances in technology and science. Exactly the three things that we need today to develop and to dominate the world. We had manufacturing excellence. Textile manufacturing, cotton and muslin was globally renowned. Pliny the Elder of Rome wrote 2,000 years ago, trade with India will impoverish Rome, because Rome imported spices and textiles and had to pay for it in gold and silver looted from around the world. So India has been a rich country. We had great revenue system with the Mauryan and Gupta empires who made sure that farmers had enough money, but the Islamic invaders made sure that 50% of land revenue went to them for nach and mouth. They never created institutions. We had trade networks all around the world. They speak about the Silk Route. The actual route was with Indian trade by the oceans. If you go to Bali, the Bali Yatra, Southeast Asia, and all the trades happened. Trade happened with Rome. Trade happened with Europe too. GDP collapsed in around 1700 with the start of the Mughal Empire and with colonial exploitation. Deindustrialization started with the British who looted India. The British took away $45 trillion of wealth from India in today's money from 1765 to 1938. Professor Usha Patnaik has written about it. Please remember this, $45 trillion in today's money. That much money has gone out of this country because of exploitation. They exploited the surplus, export surplus that we did. Whatever India exported, it was paid for in gold in Great Britain. Great Britain then gave us council bills. They taxed us, took our taxes, and paid for the council bill in rupees. Can you believe this kind of exploitation? The chatuta they had in exploiting was unparalleled in human history. Manipulation of foreign exchange was done in the gold and silver set-off prices by the British. Forced commodity exports. They made our farmers grow goods which was required for their manufacturing. This is important to us to understand. When the British left in 1947, white imperialists left this country. It was replaced by brown imperialists who carried on the same policy. Pandit Nehru impoverished this country by his bad socialistic policies from 1950 to 1980. 1950 to 1980, we grew at 3.5%. Raj Krishna said the Hindu rate of growth, it was stupid. It was because he suppressed private capital. This is not about public sector, but suppression of private capital. He made the Indian entrepreneur who made this country rich, the Indian trader who made this country rich, throughout history, feel that they're doing something wrong. And he said, we'll have the commanding heights of the economy, brought in licensed quota Raj, centralized economic power in Delhi, created corruption in Delhi, and oppressed the Indian people. In 1980, we opened up, and I'll tell you the story, what happened later. But please remember this. White imperialists left in Delhi. The brown imperialists came. They had a great time. They lived in fabulous bungalows. They had cars and all the wealth, and we lived in poverty. Now it is reversed because of Narendra Modi and Fadnavis ji. See what the British did. Every time there was a harvest, they went and took goods from the farmers at very low prices and suppressed them, and India and the East India Company exported surplus from India. They started very low prices, so we had to make sure farmers get more prices because 45% of our population is dependent on agricultural sector. And then, tax exploitation, violent coercion, usurious lending, all these were the bad habits of the British, and the East India Company did that. In fact, Robert Clive is on record to say that he's astonished at his own moderation in looting. He's astonished at his own moderate in looting. He looted less than what he thought he could do. That was the arrogance of the British. And then, colonial call games, cornered trade and currency manipulation. They manipulated our currency. They said you must pay for exports in gold in London. The gold remained there. Britain became rich. We had 1.5 million Indian troops fighting for the British in the First World War. They got wages for 20% of what they paid the white man. And in the Second World War, 2.5 million Indian troops fought for the British, and they won the war. India was the largest source of the volunteer army in both the First World War and the Second World War. And they used our people, they used our resources to dominate the world and build a colonial empire. And then what happened? In 1980, we opened up a little bit. We grew at 5.5%, but debt grew from 20 billion to 80 billion by 1991, we opened up. When we opened up in 1991, our GDP was $275 billion. It's grown to $3.6 trillion last year, 8.11% in dollar terms for 33 years. 8.11%. GDP grew from 5,32,000 crores to 296 lakh crores, 12.94% in rupees for 33 years. Which country has done this? Only one country in human history which grew at 10%, that is China. Per capita income grew at 6.63%. Today we don't have a population problem. Fertility has come to 2.0. We have an aging problem. We have 13 crore people above the age of 60, going to 20 crore people by the age of 60 in 2030. And India's population may actually shrink by 2035. Population projection says Tamil Nadu population will shrink by 2035 because we are not making enough children. In the whole of the South, fertility has come to 1.7. We got to be careful. What Mohan Bhagwatji said is very right. Unless every family has a minimum of 2 children, we are going to disappear or shrink by 2100 in the future. We all thought we had a greater population, but we find that we're aging very, very rapidly. And if you look at this, export-imports have grown 11.78%. Foreign currency reserves are $650 billion. And people say there's no investment in this country. We invest 31% of GDP, $1 trillion a year. Look at the national income statistics. 31%. Savings are 30%. And there are only 3 countries in the world which invest more than $1 billion. That is United States, China, and India. Government invests $250 billion. Industry invests $350 billion. And the balance 400 is done by individuals like you and I. We buy property and other things. And we have today 4.3 crore young people in college. We graduate 1 crore young people every year. The largest number of graduates in the world come from India. Yes, many of them get a poor education, but they spend 3 to 4 years in college, and we can train them. 28.3% of our youth in 18 to 23 are in college, and I think, Chief Minister, you must take Maharashtra to 50%. You are at 36%, you must take to 50% because we are in the knowledge economy right now. Bharat is the only country in the world which can become a $10 billion economy in the next 10 years. Maharashtra has to be a $1 trillion economy, and Fadnavis ji has to lead India in making sure Maharashtra becomes a beacon of hope. And Chief Minister ji, in Karnataka, we are slightly behind you. Our GDP is slightly ahead of you. We will compete with you. We'll work together with you. Now look at this slide. The world GDP today is $108 trillion. In India, we'll grow at 6 to 7% a year for the next 10 years. And by about 2047, we could be $15 to $20 trillion based upon where the rupee dollar is. And if you look at the world, India is the largest fast-growing country in the world today and for the next 15, 20 years. And why is that? Because there is suppressed demand, there is production, and the Indian entrepreneur will dominate the world. And that is important to understand. We must empower our youth. We must invest in technology. We must have our traders dominating the world. And Bharat has a very strong industrial power. Second largest producer of steel, second largest producer of cement, maybe largest producer of two-wheelers, four-wheelers, fourth largest, will soon be the third largest. Construction, second largest. ITES, fourth largest. Electricity, third largest. Wireless phone, second largest. We are more than Japan and the United States in all traditional industries. Do you know this? The pricing is low. We are a large industrial power. Steel will go to $300 million capacity. Cement will go to $800 million capacity by 2030. Four-wheelers will go to maybe 7 to 8 million by 2030. We are a large industrial power. And we have natural resources. Coal, 1 billion tons, second largest. Iron ore, third largest. Aviation, third largest in the world. Railways, fourth largest. Roadways, second largest. Ports, maybe the third or fourth largest. Renewable energy, fourth largest, soon the third largest. And textiles, second largest in the world. We have everything in this country. But we need economic freedom. We need less regulation. We need empowerment. We need cheaper money. And we have to open up the economy. And we have to empower our youth and our entrepreneurs. We are exporting $777 billion of services. And let me say this. In 3 years' time, surplus on services may equal the deficit in goods. That's the time when the Indian currency will become better. Today, our surplus on services export is about $215 billion. Our trade deficit on goods is about $270 billion. In 3 years, the brain power of Indians will increase service export and make it better. We are a rich agricultural country, second largest producer of food, 330 billion tons. Milk, largest producer. Cotton, largest producer. Horticulture, second largest after Brazil. Sugar, largest or second largest. Spices, largest. We are the largest cropland among all countries. Undivided India had the largest cropland in human civilization for any country, right from Peshawar to Dhaka. And we have the 50% land is irrigated. Productivity is poor. We are the largest bovine population. Bovine population in the world. We give them full rights under the Constitution. Our cows can wander everywhere. They can't climb the steps to come here, but we give them full freedom in the streets of India. And then the world is undergoing a digital revolution. We lost the industrial revolution in 1750 because we are under colonial domination. And Nach and Mauj dominated Delhi because they're ruled by foreign invaders. Now in the digital revolution, out of 8 billion people on the planet, 5.7 billion people have a mobile phone, 5.5 billion people have a internet connection. And all of them are doing business. The internet revolution will change the world. The internet is a platform where people can do business synchronously, asynchronously, 24/7. You can get education, you can do business, you can do financial services, healthcare, you can do trading, you can do anything you want. Anybody in a small town in India can trade with people in New York, anywhere, at the click of a button. The Industrial Revolution created a global supply chain which the West dominated. In the digital revolution, the global supply chain, the back end, and everybody can access that, and that will change the world. And India is the third largest digital power in the world out of the United States, China, and India. And China has got the firewall. It will not dominate the world. India and the United States will dominate the world, and we are the force multiplier for the United States. I'll give you some data. Bharat is the forefront of a startup and software revolution. We export $210 billion of software. And look at this. We export more software than Saudi Arabia exports oil. We have only 60 lakh people working in software. Total workforce is about 55 crores. Only 60 lakh work in software, and we export $215 billion of software. More software, which is a small 1% of our workforce, then Saudi Arabia exports oil. Do you know this? This is a great country, and we're going to become greater still. Our startup system is booming. Third largest sourcing system in the world, 138,000 startups, $550 billion of value created. And then, if you look at the software system, let me give some data, Chief Minister. We export $215 billion of software, could go to $450, $500 billion by 2030. Of the 10 largest software companies in the world by market value, 5 are Indian. Of the top 5, 3 are Indian. Of the 3.2 million people working in the top 10, 2.3 million are Indians. 50% of global hiring in software outside China happens in India. America has 6 million software people. 1 million are Indians staying there. Out of the 6 million working in India, we have 3 million working for American companies. Out of 10 million working for American companies globally, 4 million are Indians. Bangalore has 25 lakh software people, 60,000 IT companies, 45 unicorns, 25,000 startups, $85 billion of software exports. And we need more roads. That's why we want Fadnavis to come to Bangalore too. And you must remember, the software is going to change everything, and we are dominating. And in India and the United States are linked together, and we are the software power for them. Bharat's 117 unicorns created $350 billion of value. We should have $250 billion, 250 unicorns if money starts coming in. This year, we're going to have $14 billion invested. Last year was $25 billion. Before that, $42 billion. Money has not come in. We need more punji here. Sir, please set down a 10,000 crore fund for startups. Please invest in startups. Your budget is about 5 lakh crores. Give them 10,000 crores a year. Get your young people to dominate the world. Make Bombay the fintech AI capital of the world. We'll all help you. And we'll tell you how to do it, because you can lead. You are a young man who has the dream of Viksit Bharat, and you should lead this. And the Indian startup industry is developing value creation at an unprecedented pace. People from Bombay should invest in startups, not go buy properties, put money into bank deposits. The fact that Bombay is not investing, 85% of the investment in startups and value is going to foreign capital, because Bombay is still getting into this, doing this stock market. All the Ashish is here. Ashish knows all the nice stuff. But you must invest in technology and startups. Startups have created great value. A Bharatiya IPO is a clear target. Swamiji, 10 years back, 5 years back, Indian companies went to Singapore, went to US to list. They didn't come here. Now everybody is coming here. They're changing domicile, coming here, because Bharat is giving the biggest value. Look at all these companies who are investing. Now, you must say they've got great value. Remember, in the United States, the Fangman companies created value. NVIDIA is $3 trillion of market value. Microsoft is $3 trillion of market value. Google is $2.5 trillion. We need to create these companies in the next 10 years. The world is transforming. What will happen to the world tomorrow? 25 years, energy will be free because of nuclear fusion. We are nuclear fission, but nuclear fusion, where we join nuclei, can create free power and power at low cost. Then we'll have solar power, which will give us power at very low cost. So energy costs will come down. Chief Minister has already said alternate energy will happen in Maharashtra. And when you have unlimited energy, we become productive. That is going to be the future. Then expertise will be free. Robots will come and help our children to educate themselves and to teach them. Robots will help people in hospitals, because they can be together with them. It will reduce costs, because this expertise will be available to everybody. Today, the chatbots and others will come and change the way we do education. Imagine that you have got an exam, mass exam tomorrow at 10 o'clock. You wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning shivering, nightmare. How do I pass the exam? Nobody is going to teach you at 3 o'clock. You go into your laptop, and you click, a chatbot comes, and you ask questions. They tell you the answer for mathematics, and you can learn mathematics and go write the exam, because you have chatbots. Technology is solving this problem. Labor will be free. We'll have robots for all of us. Now, internationally, people are talking about taxing robots, because robots can do 60% of human activity. Is it good for India? Maybe we become productive, but we've got to build roads, we've got to build houses. For 10 years, it will not impact, but India can do many, many things. What we build a bridge in 3 years can be done in 2 years if we use robotics. And robots can do construction too. Wars will be fought with AI and robots. In the Ukraine war, it is drones that are creating big issues. Drones are destroying tanks. So drones will come in. Wars will be fought differently. Robots will go in Star Wars. And India will be doing that. Just imagine, this is a kind of world that we're going to see. Next 5 years, with AI, quantum computing, and with hypercloud, like Chief Minister said, and with robotics and humanoids, we're going to see change at a pace never seen before in human history, and it's happening here. Machines and humans will integrate. We'll be able to think and talk to the computer to do many things that we could not do right now, because they'll put a chip in the brain. Elon Musk is putting a chip in the brain, and a person who has been paralyzed is able to, through thinking, change and give some instruction. And that's happening right before us. Every human being will live for 120 years. We want Swamiji to live for 120 years, because after Viksit Bharat, he has got to create the Hindu civilization and the culture. Why? Because we are healthy, we can regenerate organs. If your organs go, we can regenerate. Young people get the heart broken because they fall in love and it doesn't work. They sing songs and go around the trees. If the heart is broken, we can give them a new heart and design a new heart for them. And all that will happen. In the womb, we can make sure that children don't get inherited diseases. Bharat's financial and social infrastructure is robust. We have a great banking system because phone banking is gone. Banks are clean. NPAs are low. Banks this year will make 4 lakh crore profit. SBI will have 20% return on equity. Can you believe that? 4 lakh crore profit. They're all making money head over heels. They must reduce interest rates for us. I think that is important. Bharat digital payments. In digital payment, 45% of digital payments in the world are from India. They've gone from 9 billion, 10 billion to 20 billion in just 2 years. Bharat is a strong financial base. Our market value is 4.84 trillion. Maybe 5,500, 6,000 companies are listed. With the largest F&O market, maybe a good thing, maybe a bad thing, but it exists in this country. We get $75 billion FDI a year. Global Bharat equity story is now at scale. With the 4th largest equity market in the world, and we could be the 3rd largest equity market in the world. Of course, the United States will dominate, but we should go there and dominate the United States. Look at all the Indians in Trump's cabinet, right? We should go there and join, and we should dominate their politics so we can do that. Look at the long term. India and the US have dominated global markets in giving the best return for 30 years. If people tell you India has not given return, show them the data. United States and India, the best performing market for 30 years continuously in this country. If only Bombay becomes better, we have better roads, lesser slums, and cleaned up, we'll get unlimited FDI coming in. I think we got to get a great experience in Bombay. Bombay requires you to work harder and make sure it's much better, much better. Bombay should be better than New York. Bombay should be better than Shanghai, better than Beijing. USA is ahead of Bharat in stock market returns, but Bharat is number 2. All these years, from the last 12 years, Bharat has done very well. And look at this education structure. 1,200 universities, 42,000 colleges, 4.32 crore young people in college. Gross enrollment rate is 28. All societies have done. Chief Minister, here is data for you. SC makes up 18.8% of population, 16.4% of students in college. ST 8.8, 6.4. Backwards are 40, 36.5% in college. Muslims are 15, 5.2 only, but growing because of bad community leadership. And if you look at gross enrollment rate going up by 3.6%, girls are dominating boys. We graduate more women than men. And SC, ST, all communities are growing at 6.3% a year. And enrollment in our colleges. There's social transformation, unprecedented scale. Every kid will have great education, and it's happening here. Just see, BTech, we produce 41 lakh graduates in 5 years. 50% are very good. The balance 50% can drive a Ola, Uber, or whatever they want to do. And we produce 4.77 crore graduates for the last 5 years. Bharat is leading in technology. 44% of unicorn founders in the US are not US born, and India is the largest number. India is the largest number there. 90 unicorn founders are in the United States. 90. They've gone there and founded unicorns. And we are the largest for any community in the world. And Bharat is leading in global CEOs. The top 50 digital companies, 30 have Indians leading them. Can you believe it? Top 50 in America, 30 are Indian. We want them to stay there. We'll applaud them. Not that they're going to do great things for us. They may not. But we'll applaud them. But look at the power of the Indian. Look at the power of Bharat. Look at the power of the Bharatiya. This is what you must encourage. We got the 3rd largest number of billionaires. By 2030, we must have 1,000 billionaires. Mumbai should have 500 billionaires. You must make unlimited money and give a large part of the money to Swamiji to transform Bharat. But you must make money. You must make money. You must become a billionaire. Everything is in your favor. India is growing. You are in industry. But remember, the power of money is the power to give away, not to consume. You can't eat gold. But create wealth, give it to Swamiji to transform Bharat, to make Bharat the greatest civilization in the world. Now, I'm coming to the end. Bharat did the DPI revolution. Digital public infrastructure, only country to create digital platforms owned by a public utility where everybody can get a number, we can transfer money at no cost, we can keep a digital infrastructure, we can get health, we can do digital infrastructure for school education, fast tag. Just imagine the transformation because of Modi ji. In 2015, Modi ji stood up in Red Fort and said, Digital India, Startup India, Stand Up India is happening before our eyes. India is transformed. We in our office get 700 startups coming for capital every month. Every month. We have seen 40,000 startups in the last 7 years. And then we have used technology to make sure every Indian has a roof over the head, water in the tap, power in the switch, toilet in the house, food on the table, education for their children, a bank account, a mobile connection, money in the bank, and then a road to the house. If every Indian has the necessities of life, that Indian will be demanding. And now our Chief Minister has done something unique. He is giving 3 crore women in Maharashtra 2,100 rupees. That's a very good program, Chief Minister. You will transform India. Please trust the Indian woman. The Indian woman will transform India. And next, when we have 33% women in parliament, India will be more powerful. Because women will build society. Women will educate children. Women will focus on health. And our Prime Minister is giving them money, empowering them, making sure they rise, and we'll see a peaceful, great society in future. Now, my last slide. To build Viksit Bharat, what do we need? Swamiji, we have to create a global community. We have 5 crore Indians outside. Their GDP is about $2 trillion. We got $4 trillion inside. Together, we are $6 trillion. We must use them to grow, and we must be part of this community so that all of them work together to make the world a better place and dominate the world. We are the best civilization. We should be the most respected civilization. We should have cultural pride, invest in our culture. India has seen the greatest cultural artifacts in human history. The cultural extent, diversity India has, nobody has in history. And this culture should be expanded. We must empower the youth by getting them better education, higher quality education. 50% of youth should be college graduates. We must have more PhDs, more master programs, and export them around the world. We must produce 1.5 lakh doctors, and like software, dominate the healthcare industry around the world. We have the human capital. We have to educate them and make sure we have a global domination policy. Transform infrastructure. Make Bombay best city in the world. Make Bangalore the best city in the world. If you come and help us, we need more roads and more trains. And then digital superpower. We'll build the digital platforms to be one of the biggest digital superpowers leading the industrial revolution. Economic growth in North Bharat. I appeal to all of you, invest in UP. UP is 17% of India, 23 crore people. Invest in Bihar, 13 crore people. Invest in Rajasthan because they are going to dominate politics. When delimitation happens, seats go to 833, North India will dominate. But they're backward. India's per capita income is 2,11,000 rupees. UP is 1,07,000 rupees. Karnataka is 4,35,000 rupees. Maharashtra is about 4 lakhs. So we must invest in UP. We must bring up UP. If UP comes up, India will prosper in the next 10 years. So, strengthen defense infrastructure too, because we must have a strong defense based on technology, because the world respects military power. The world respects economic power. The world respects human power. Human power, we're getting there. Economic power, we're getting there. Our military should be strong based on technology. And then, Viksit Bharat is Bharat's future. And you in this room are going to make it happen. Jai Hind.